Welcome to Undisputed, live from Los Angeles. I'm Joy Taylor here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Joy. How are you today?
I'm doing great. It's been wonderful.
Man, it's beautiful. I was home this weekend. The weather's nice fall mornings. There's nothing like fall in Georgia. Oh, it was great.
You had a great weekend?
Yeah, man. I can't wait to get the show started. Everybody good out there? Yeah, good. Guys.
How are you?
Hi,
Good to see you.
Hi, Skip.
You know, I'm not going to do it today because this is getting to be old hat. This is actually getting boring for me. So I'm just going to sit back and I'm not. How about the Cowboys? Did you people? I'll probably slip on the floor. Did you see what Dak Prescott did?
Sit down, man. You ain't even show me
this. He didn't see it. He doesn't believe it. I got to finally win him over.
I thought I asked these people to wax the floors.
Yeah.
It's slippery.
Skip.
How to do it.
What about humility? You were tweeting all day yesterday.
Creeping on me again.
About I'm going to get my credentials yanked.
Yep. Okay. You know, I keep trying to warn you.
No.
I keep trying to educate you. Nope. I keep trying to save you from yourself. Nope. Because I like you. I want you to be my partner, so I've got your back here. But you won't listen to me. You won't learn. You keep picking against Dak Prescott, and he keeps proving you wrong again and again. How many times do you have to be wrong in a row before you finally say, you know what, I concede, I give up. It's all Dak all the time. Thank you very much.
We're doing the mannequin challenge. I can't.
Next question.
Let's get it started. Well, starting off with the red-hot Cowboys. Dallas extended their winning streak to a franchise record 9 games yesterday after beating the Ravens 27-17. Dak Prescott threw over 300 yards with 3 touchdown passes, and Ezekiel Elliott broke Tony Dorsett's franchise rookie rushing record for the now 9-1 Cowboys. Skip, you predicted they would win, and you thought it would be close.
I did.
So how do you feel about the Cowboys today?
I thought the Ravens would score 17 because that was my score prediction, 20-17. And Dak actually proved me wrong again because he scored 27 instead of just the 20 I thought it would take to win this game over the Ravens. I'm not going to say I told you so, but I told you so. And I got to go back to September 6th. I told you on our first day of this show's history that in all my years of covering pro football back to the mid-1970s, I'd never seen anything like this kid through 3 preseason games. And of course, you, right on time, and you should have said this to me, it's just the preseason.
Yep.
But I said the poise, the accuracy, the maturity, the stature he showed me in the pocket at Seattle in that 3rd dress rehearsal preseason game when Romo was knocked out on the 3rd play. And Dak stood in against that blitz time and time again. And I said, this is real. And now, through 10 games at 9-1, and I'm going to remind you, Dak, if you look back at the numbers, played plenty well enough to win the opening day game against the Giants. If you look at the numbers, his QBR that day was 60, and they had every statistical category was plus Dallas in that game, except the final score was 20-19 because Measly Beasley dropped a touchdown pass on the 2-yard line early, and my man Des Bryant failed to control a touchdown pass in the back of the end zone mid-game. That was the difference in 20-19. So now we come up to 9-1 Dallas. And again, I'm going to say it, in all my years of covering this game, I've never seen anything like what this kid keeps doing. And furthermore, anything like how little credit he's now getting for what he does. I don't think the world's buying in yet. I don't think the world has really discovered Dak Prescott because I don't feel, maybe you do, but I don't feel any phenomenon like the Tebow-esque phenomenon, the Cam-esque phenomenon when Cam exploded onto the scene, even Cam dabbing through last year's MVP season. I just don't feel it. I don't get it because it's too subtle. He's doing it slowly but surely. He's doing it methodically. He's doing it unspectacularly. He doesn't dab. He doesn't have a celebration. He doesn't even do this because the show gets stolen by his running back doing this time and time again. He's the more exciting player. And so it's like, well, it's the running back. It's the offensive line. It's they don't really, they haven't played that hard. I keep hearing all of the above, and I told you 2 weeks ago in New York City, what was that, actually a week ago in New York City, I said, he's my midseason MVP, and now to me, he should be running away with MVP, and I don't hear a peep about that. Yesterday was Dak Prescott's greatest achievement to me because, as we talked about on Thursday, we didn't have a show on Friday, this was his toughest test. This was a grown man football team, the Baltimore Ravens, that knows how to play football. This team threw everything at Dak Prescott, including blitz after third quarter blitz, and he burned it again and again and again, especially on the little slant touchdown to Dez Bryant that he carried Young into the end zone on. And the reason he's doing it is because he's a grown man quarterback. He's 23 to me, going on 33. And got off to a little bit of a shaky start, which we've seen him do a couple times. And then once it kicked in about the fifth series, listen to these drives. 10 plays, 92 yards, 13 plays, 88 yards, and then the clincher to ice the game, 13 plays, 72 yards, with 0 turnovers. 0 turnovers. So against the Ravens, he threw for 301 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. His team had 0 turnovers. And I don't know what's not to like about this. QBR yesterday of 98.4. And Joe Flacco after the game is saying, we should have beat that team. Yeah, Joe, you need the football to beat that team, and he won't give it back to you. Maybe Flacco's right, because we saw what happened early in the game. Boom, 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 just ran the ball right down their throats. We get that. The defense isn't very good. The quarterback and his offense is winning time of possession every game, dominating the NFL. Number 1 in time of possession, number 1 in time per scoring drive. That's how you win. That's MVP. When will the world wake up and realize Dak Prescott is dominating the league this year as a 4th-round rookie? And again, I have never, ever seen anything like this. The floor is yours.
You'll finally? If the floor is mine, you going to let me talk a little bit now? Skip, can I just talk about the Ravens for a second? 12 penalties, 136 yards. What team that's as good as the Cowboys appear to be are you going to beat if you commit 12 penalties for 136 yards? They had one player that had 3, Zuta. Now, why did he get all these penalties? Okay, we'll debate that another time. They allowed the Cowboys to possess the ball over 11 more minutes. Third down, they were 33%. They held Zeke in check the first half, 6 of 26. So I thought they did a great job. You're right. If you know what the Cowboys are, you know what they represent. They are a team that want to possess the football because the flaw of their team, if there is a flaw, it is their defense. So they minimize the amount of time that team, that side of the ball, has to be on the field. So Joe Flacco and other teams, if you know that, you must value possessions. You need to get the ball into the end zone, because if you go 3 and out, even if they don't score, the next time you get the ball, they will have run 4 or 5 minutes off the clock. You're not going to get the ball a whole lot, because if you think about it, they only had 9 possessions. 9 possessions. You need to be near flawless. You got to score on 50% of those possessions at the bare minimum to have a chance to beat this football team. Skip, I'm going to have to give Dak some credit, because I thought the Ravens would take Zeke away, and they did for the most part. He did have 25 rush attempts, 97 yards. He didn't get out the end zone, a little less than 4 yards a carry. But when the guy goes 14 of 15 for 146 yards and 2 touchdowns in the second half, and then he has 11 first downs, and of those 14 completions, 11 of them went for first downs, it's going to be hard to beat him. Skip, I carry this pen around. You know why I carry this pen around, Skip? Because the Cowboys keep making me check boxes. Win, Cowboys won. Zeke running, Zeke, they run the football. Dak doing Dak throwing deep. Dak checking the ball down. Dak playing with poise. I got 1 X in the box. Jerry have yet to name him as his starting quarterback.
That is correct.
So until Jerry gets into steps in front of a camera, speaks into a mic, and says, Dak Prescott is my starting quarterback, then and only then am I willing to say, you know what? This team is a legit Super Bowl contender. Because I still believe, Jerry, as do you, is holding out hope that Dak will do something that would allow him just the slightest of opportunity to sneak Tony Romo back into the back door.
I would agree with that. I think Dak Prescott was playing for his job yesterday, and that's another reason his degree of difficulty is higher than other starting quarterbacks. Now he had the guy dressed, ready to come into the game yesterday, and I thought if he lost this game, and it's going to be a dangerous, we saw the Redskins last night, they're explosive and dangerous, arch rivals, obviously. They won at Texas Stadium last year. They've often won at Texas Stadium. I'm sorry, the Jerry World. I'm still going back in time because of all those games I saw them win at Texas Stadium. But the point is, Dak Prescott, listen to this. These are the stats that get lost. Dak Prescott's offense, that's the 8th consecutive game with at least 400 yards for his offense. That's tied for the longest single-season streak in NFL history with the 07 Patriots, we know Brady to Randy Moss, and the 2013 Broncos, Peyton just at the MVP level, at the height of his greatness, right? So all they have to do is put up 400 yards against the Redskins, which I'll predict right now they'll put up 400 yards because I think everybody can put up 400 yards on the Redskins. We saw Aaron Rodgers and company do it easily last night. Then they'll break the all-time record. But do you hear about this? Is anybody talking about this? No. It's too subtle. It's too slow but sure. It's too methodical. It's too bing, bing, bing. It's not spectacular enough, even though he'll throw some deep balls.
Yeah,
he will.
He was
He'll
very
mix it
accurate
up.
yesterday throwing the deep ball. Because I think the biggest thing is, Skip, is that because of his offensive line and because of Zeke, they minimize his importance to a team. And, you know, they ran the ball really like, and I'm not saying the running back last year, the running back that got McFadden.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Darren McFadden is Ezekiel Elliott, but they ran the ball enough that if they had consistent QB play, they could have won some of those games that they lost. But because of Zeke has been unbelievable. I mean, he's on pace to break Eric Dickerson, where he fell a little bit behind it now. On pace to rush for over 1,800 yards. They got 3 first-rounders. They got 3 Pro Bowls, all pro guys on the offensive line. Well, everybody can play quarterback. It's not that easy because that's the same offensive line they had last year. They had those same weapons. Now, minus Dak, not Dak, but Dez was out for an extended period of time. But he doesn't get the credit that he deserved because Jerry won't give him the credit that he deserves. So if your owner, who has no problem telling you who's going to play, who's healthy, what's going on, if he won't come out and praise his own quarterback, the media sure is not going to do it.
So, bottom line, are you ready to buy into my Cowboys?
No.
So basically you're saying that yesterday was more about the Ravens committing, what was it, 12 penalties,
for 136.
Right? Okay, so that's it. That's Dallas won because the Ravens had 12 penalties, right?
Well, they was only 33% on third down. They let the Cowboys.
The Ravens were, yeah.
Well, I keep saying let, but for whatever reason, I keep saying they let them have the ball for over 35 minutes. Man, I'm done talking about the Cowboys.
No, you're not.
They're lucky.
Lucky. Let's talk more Cowboys. The Cowboys have the best record in the NFL, but the Seahawks are right behind them. Russell Wilson threw a touchdown pass and caught one as well in their win against the Eagles. Skip, who is the best team in the NFC right now? Your Cowboys or Seattle?
I'm going to give my Cowboys a slight edge, but I do have high regard